a frustrating morning, guys. Down, as you can see, I'm down, let's see here, 487 on the morning, but I made such a stupid mistake. I was fine with having a small red day, but just one stupid mistake kind of almost doubled my loss on the day. So I'll explain that here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and do the market open recap. So the first trade I took was on BIG. It wasn't on my watch list this morning, but somebody had called it out in the room. I don't know, for some reason it was just not. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, it was on my watch list. Um, but right off the bat here, it kind of started going sideways. And I was thinking right here under 47. So I was going to put my stop here at the top of the consolidation. So if a stock kind of starts going sideways and because it can't really, it hasn't chosen a direction to go in yet. And if it breaks under the bottom or some crucial sort of support, you expect it to go lower, right? So what happened is I shorted 125 shares here under 47, right at 935. So right here in this candle, I believe, right here at 935. Shorted it at, actually no, I shorted it under the lows. That's right. So 46.86. And I added another shares as it was coming up and it was hitting the 9, another 50 shares. So I was short 175 shares and put the stop up here. Now I kind of just kept going sideways a little bit. And then as it was, let's see here, as it started breaking down up above this trend line, I kind of saw it starting to hold. So I put my stop over here over 47.20. Wait, was it 47.20? Let's see here. Yeah, so it was actually 47.20, and I believe it's the very next candle. No, right there it is. Okay, so right here over 47.20, it actually spiked up and got me out because I had a hard stop during that time. I was looking at, I was in FNSR. That's actually what I was looking at. So I just moved BIG over to the other monitor and just put a hard stop on it and just kind of forgot about it. And then I saw that it triggered me out and I took a $147 loss. So it basically gave me a $50 extra loss that I shouldn't have taken, I guess. I don't know. That's just very unfortunate. I can't really do anything about that one. Now the next trade I took on FNSR, I'm actually kind of glad on how I handled the loss on it. These trend lines that I've been drawing have actually really been helping. So let's see here. I went short on FNSR right at 1810. So right here. So like I always tell you guys, I always short things under VWAP and under the 9. So it came up. See this candle right here, and it kind of sold off immediately. So I counted this as the highs, and then it tried to go up, and it failed again. So right at 1810, we're below the VWAP, we're below the 9. My stop was going to be here, 35 cents. So I took, let's see, 500 shares short here. Actually, it was going to be, there we go. So 1830 and 1810, so it's only 20 cents. I took 500 shares. I went short. Let's see, that's what I covered. Then I saw it make a lower high again. So it came up, and so what I ended up doing is I actually connected this here. To the right. So now I had that line drawn. Remove this drawing. I had that line drawn. It broke under 18, but it immediately got bought up. So then as I saw it, so it hit here at 1820 multiple times. So I ended up putting my stop there, and instead of having it all the way up here at 1830. So it broke up over the what's it called, the trend line. It broke up and over it broke under 18, and it got bought up very quickly. So what I ended up doing is remove this drawing, and I made that the new high. So basically there, extend to the right. So now I'm going to zoom out, and as you can see, it's lower high, lower high, lower high, but at the same time, it's also making higher lows. So it's just a wedge that's getting pushed up. And as it broke up and over this, I had my stop. Let's see here, FNSR. Short, short another, short another. So I was 1,000 shares short. I got rid of 500 shares right at 1812 as it broke up and over this. So I got rid of it right here, which is a good thing I did. And then I got rid of the rest of them. Let's see, at 1818. So up, I believe next candle. Yep, so right there, right at 956. So if the wedge is breaking out of where you drew your trend lines and it's holding, if whenever it squeezes like that and it just picks a direction and it's against you, obviously you need to start lightening up the load, and that's what I started doing. So instead of taking the loss all the way at 1830, because it would have kicked me out there, and it's actually starting to go higher. So what the wedge does really is just kind of imagine like if you were to put a book on top of a bouncy ball. So you just drop the bouncy ball and then you just lower it and lower it and lower it, and so all it does is just bounces back and forth faster and just builds up a lot of momentum. And what it does, it's going to explode either up or down. So since we were short and it was a gap down, I was thinking it was going to go lower, but since it broke up and over that resistant point that I drew and it held, I just lightening up the load immediately. So that's why instead of losing $100, I only lost $65, which is really not that big of a deal. Okay, so the next trade that I took was on KSS. It was a long. It was gapping up this morning. I'm not really quite sure what the news on it are. Upgrade. It was just getting an upgrade. That's all. But either way, so it was gapping up this morning, and it initially it sold off in the very beginning of the morning. It kind of made a low. It went up. It made a lower high, and as it did that, the market was actually it had picked a direction during that time. So I'll go ahead and bring it up. Let's see. Let me go back a little bit. So probably somewhere around here. So around 10:05, we had definitely picked a direction on the upside. So I was expecting it to go up and over VWAP and for it to just keep going. So I noticed that it was making lower highs, or I mean higher lows. So what I did is I just drew a trend line on it and I went long with my stop was going to be down here. This is something I don't usually do, but I was kind of trying it out. So my initial entry was going to be somewhere here around the 42.60-ish mark, and then have my stop down here at 62.45. So as you can see, I got filled here at 62.67, and I got kicked out. I did not stick with my entry as it did not bounce off of the trend line and keep going. So I was expecting it just to keep going as the market was headed higher and just kind of keep making higher lows and then just eventually break out. But as you can see, it was actually not holding this trend line at all, and it just broke down under. As you can see, it broke down below my stop, but I actually got out at 62.53. It's just if the trend line didn't work, then you just might as well get out. So I took a $71 loss on that. Let's see. At that point, I was already down on BIG, KSS, and FNSR. So now during that time, I was thinking it was down like 200 something dollars, which is totally fine. Which is really where I should have stopped trading, because that was 3 losses in a row. None of them had worked whatsoever, and then all of a sudden, as I was getting ready to do the recap, I actually ended up seeing WUBA. So WUBA was moving up very strong this morning, and where I messed up, so this is where I screwed up. Right here. So as you can see on here, it rolled up and then it just started going sideways right below 83. Now, I wanted to go 400 shares long over 83. So somewhere around the 82, 85 mark. Where was it? At 10:51. So right here, right within this candle, which is just bad luck on my part. It just happened to work out that way, but I did not mean to click the button. I meant to set out an order. Let me move my face out of the way. I meant to set out an order with a stop limit. So what a stop limit does is it triggers once a certain price is hit, and you kind of set your parameters. So the parameters for that were going to be 83.01, and then the limit on it was going to be 83.10, which meant that if it broke over 83, it triggered and it would fill me all the way up to 83.10. So it would fill those 400 shares and it would just go. Now, I accidentally put it on market order, and I thought it was on stop limit, and I went ahead and hit buy, and it just triggered automatically at where was I at? I got filled at 82.85, but as you can see on here, this is the very last red candle, and after that it just kind of started going under. So I lost $140 or so, 140, 150 bucks. So right here, at 10:54, right within that candle, I was like, okay, well, if it breaks below 82.50, I'm out. So I got filled right at 82.48, and I had to be done with that. So then I was down $150 on that. I think it was down, I don't even remember, what was it, 420 during the time, and I decided to just take one more trade. I knew that the market was very strong, so I expected WUBA to bounce off of VWAP. So right here, as you can tell, I went long right. Let's see here, 100 shares. I was only risking 100 or only risking 50 bucks. So went long here over 82.30. I got filled at 82.29. My stop got hit. I got kicked out right here, right at the bottom of this candle. I was expecting it to just start climbing back up. But the one iffy thing that I wasn't really sure on is it had not hit VWAP yet. So I was expecting it to hit VWAP, kind of hover around, and then start heading back up. That's usually how I take the trade. But it was actually making a lower high. So it made a lower high. It came down, hit VWAP. And right around here in this area is really where I wanted to be filled. But I think I was just being a little bit impatient during the time because I was so mad about the previous mistake that I just made, and me losing 150 bucks when it was completely avoidable. It's just, it just what happened today, just some bad luck. So unfortunately, I gave back all the gains from yesterday. I'm green on the whole week. This is actually my only red day for the week, which I wanted to keep it as small as possible because statistically I at least have one red day per week. So I was thinking this was going to happen, and I knew that I wanted to make it as small as possible, but it's just really, really bad luck on my part on that one, and that's just the way that it goes sometimes. So that was my big mistake. I put a market order instead of a stop limit order over 83, and then it just triggered, and that's how it goes. But either way, hopefully you guys learned from my mistakes. I'll be back on Monday, and as always, if you guys have any questions, make sure to put it down in the comment section below. Also, if you guys have not joined our Facebook group, make sure to do that. The link will be in the description below as well, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.